Life is not a tempest, nor is it a midsummer dream. Enjoy life, cherish life, respect life, live for the moment. Otherwise, life will remain history. Welcome all of you to the Body and the Mind. Well, in continuation with our previous episodes, we haven't laid our final touches to the depression point because of lack of time. So I think in this episode you can highlight more on the depression side with relation to the final part when a person is addicted to the disease and he gets cured, or in case he's continuing the disease.
See, coming back to this subject, if you see, what is depression basically? As I told you, depression is a state of mind of a person when he is not able to tackle an issue or his inability to face the situation. He worries about it most of the time. And once he does not get what he wants, he starts going introvert within and within and within. So once he starts going within, it starts, instead of aggressiveness and enthusiasm, he goes into depressions. In modern treatment, if you observe, whenever we give a treatment for the depression, we don't give a tab. See, depression can be because of physical problem. Depression can come because of financial problem. Depression can come because of relationship problem. Depression can come because of mental problem. But in the modern source of treatment, we don't give a tablet or an injection saying this is related to financial problem depression, or this is related to relationship problem depression, or this is related to mental problems. No, you don't give. You give some source of medicines to calm him down. But this makes him addictive. He becomes an addict to those tablets because he finds release in those things. Even not getting sleep can make people land into depression. Here what we do is, in yoga, we make the person himself a master of his life. When a person knows how to tackle his day-to-day issues, so he can be a master of his life, wherein he understands how he can go to the root cause of the problem. It can be a relationship, financial, how to take it, how to accept the situations, and have a positive approach by active acceptance and tackling this issue. So here he need not be depressed, he need to act upon. Action is what gives everyone life. Reaction is what takes everything away from you. So a person who is depressed, he has been reacting to situations, surroundings, circumstances all the time. So his reactions has taken away his energy, depleted the energy, and has been the root cause for him to go introvert. Action comes only when a person is having enthusiasm, aggressiveness, will and determination, and farsightedness and objective in life.
Also a desire to do things.
Yeah. Then he is acting upon every day. It motivates him, energizes him, gets him everything. So yoga helps a person to rather act than react. And the beauty of human beings is we have only 24 hours at our disposal. Yesterday and tomorrow is not in my hand. So this 24 hours, 8 hours we go off to sleep. The balance 16 hours, if you see, we may be in our workplace wherein I am mostly reacting. Either the job you don't like, or you're driving on the road you don't like, only eating at those intervals you like, talking to your friends you may like. Some does the job for the sake of job, which he doesn't like for the salary he works. All these situations actually is reacting to a person or a situation or a circumstances. This is what makes him upset, depressed, loses energy. Yoga makes a person act upon the situation, act upon the objective. And this, he does it with happiness and enthusiasm. So you're operating in a sense of aggressive challenge. This helps a person achieve anything, overcome depression, anything in this life. And this ultimate knowledge yoga only can give. Because all other aspects of treatment, they don't give the basic avenues of this knowledge to manage a situation. So that's why I say depression is not a problem in yoga. It's only making a person understand his limitations that he is operating with and make him unlimited in his operations, so he operates with a better positive approach, because there's no end for him to get anything. There's everything that he can achieve. There's nothing as impossible. Everything is possible for a person who thinks it is possible. If you start thinking it as negative, nothing is possible. So that's why depression is not a problem or an issue at all. If the right knowledge and right way of approach is given and helps him to rehabilitate, to come back to his personality by regaining his health, his mind, his peace, his happiness, and learning to accept things in life. So this, I think, will overcome the state of depression, anxiety, and everything. And in the process, yoga asanas, breathings, meditation techniques, all these things joined together with a positive approach. And there's nothing in the word as saying depression and stress.
Maritime Association, Maritime Organizations, Maritime Communities, Maritime Decision Makers. The very best from Maritime Society under one banner, International Maritime Club. International Maritime Club, a unique initiative of MarineBiz TV, comes with a visionary aim of being the single harbour for maritime societies from across the globe. Transcending geographical barriers, get connected through conferences, events, regular meets, exchange ideas, knowledge, and know the latest in maritime industry. Be a member of IMC and get free promotion and advertising through MarineBiz TV, the world's first and only global maritime channel. Meet some of our elite members. Come aboard IMC and join hands to make the dream of a better maritime world true.
How long do you think will it take to rectify the person? Does it differ from person to person, or from the nature of the...
It depends on person to person, because every person in the world have their own different experiences by which they have become depressed. And to what extent they have gone within, and to what extent they have now become addicted to maintain their life in the world. For example, no child is a born addict. When I am faced with a difficult situation, I am not able to cope up on one side. Other side, I am maintaining my job, my other things. So on one side you are not able to maintain, other side you have to maintain. So because of your inability or incapacity, you land up with some part of you getting addicted to certain things. So at least temporarily you cut off from your problems. This temporary cutting off of problems lands you into health issues later on, because you are addicted now. Now this addiction has to be overcome. First of all, bringing him to the knowledge. So it depends on how much faith he has into it, how much previous experience he has had into it. If he has had a previous experience on the knowledge, it may be a little more easy. Now, or the person who's taking care of him, how much faith he has in him. All these things plays a major role. It depends from person to person. But I should say, it all can come if the person has a positive approach. And if you want to see that he comes back with you, operate with a positive and a higher aspects of inner love for the person, we can overcome any problem. Because the greatest tool in the world is love. All these things can come back.
Okay, now back to the topic of treating a person having disease, prevailing a disease.
After that also. See, how can yoga help? That's what I've been telling. See, for example, a person who wants to help maintain good health, for example, children, for example. Children is the category today that we need to really bring them into the knowledge, because they are the future generations. The very sad part is how much ever people have understood about the knowledge of yoga, still it has not been inculcated into the educational system. Today also a child is a very good architect or an engineer or a doctor, but he doesn't know how to face a difficult situation. So, to the younger generations or youngsters who have health, but to maintain health, yoga can give them the best knowledge on all aspects of his personality that can help a person to never have these problems later on. Now, some people who are already prone to these diseases, yoga as a knowledge can be dealt by giving the knowledge about right food, exercising, breathing, and meditation that can help him to come back to good health. Now, a person who already has a disease like diabetes, cholesterol, depression, cancers, or whatever psychosomatic diseases, we have to generalize the knowledge first of all, and see to the individual cases on what all things we need to give them therapy by shatkarmas or purifications, by breathing techniques, by exercises, by the knowledge of meditation, and help him to come back to good health. Plus here, when it comes to those level, the treatment is very, very essential. The modern treatment is very essential. So the modern medical team of doctors should simultaneously be there to support them to what are the medical things going on in the system. Okay. And it should be done as a joint venture, because the ultimate aim of any profession, medical profession or any types of treatment, it is the bringing in the health back of the patient or the person. So here, all these types of knowledge which can deal with all dimensions of a human personality. So relative to body, medical science only can go to the optimum today. To the health is already in that state. Related to the breathing, yoga can help her. Related to the higher dimension of his mind, yoga can help her. Related to the understanding, yoga can help her. And here you can even use the treatment of Ayurveda and homeopathy to that extent to give him relaxation by these massage therapies and Ayurvedic treatments. So the person is already manifested it is, he's already in a crisis management. Here modern medical science has to be there to support them. So there, when they are doing the treatment, simultaneously we need to also go to the source of the disease. So treatment with the supervision of the medical doctors, combined to give them peace and calmness in mind, and the knowledge will help them to come back to health much faster. And then those who have already recovered from the medical issues, but still continuing with the tablets, how yoga can be raised more in their practices, more breathing, more food concepts, and exercising, and how we can eliminate the disease also can be done in yoga. So it should be having a fantastic holistic approach. And here, all have to join hands if we really want to support people. So in the medical profession, not only just physical body, the higher dimensions of a human personality need to be dealt with. So then you can really help a person, cure a person physically, mentally, emotionally, and then that life can be brought back to normalcy. So I think that solves the
entire process. Now the life cycle is completed.
Then only every person can come back, maintain, and thereafter need not get destroyed their body by ignorance. So he's totally physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, or in intelligence, using his higher intelligence. He knows what was the problem, what has happened to him, how he landed in crisis, how he has tackled, how he has to sustain and maintain, and further have preventive management. So the entire dimensions are covered by a holistic approach.
But the same approach is taken into consideration whether it's a child or an adult.
See, that's what, for children, for example, today there's not a disease as such. So, whenever a disease manifests, it is the same process. But if a child, it's more of knowledge, more of giving them the understanding, building them the confidence, the faith. And what all ignorance is there in the system has to be set right so that the child knows everything what he is doing. Because today the world is, on one side, the world for material benefits, manufactures all the unwanted items also. For example, alcohol is there, drugs are there, cigarettes are there, smoking is there. What all you say, name it, there is everything there. So, a person with a weak mind is prone to these things faster. So, unless and until a thorough knowledge is given, we cannot overcome the problem. So, it is the person himself who has to understand, rather than someone telling him at a later stage when the body is destroyed.
I do know that sailing full time is as good a religion as there is.
Now one day it so happened that we were almost caught in a cyclone. 50-degree angle, you can imagine, you cannot stand. I was also holding on to the railing and just hanging.
My wife is she's a senior leader in Delhi University. So during summertime, she along with the kids used to join me on board. So the gap between, the separation time between us was not much.
Well, especially in temperatures where the meters touch 50 ° centigrade or whether it's 45 or so on, especially in this part of the world, Middle East, Dubai. How can yoga help people prevent diseases or overcome diseases, especially in this hot burning sun outside?
Yeah. One thing is water. Water is very vital, and during the summer season, one thing is we have to drink more and more water because humidity is more, especially as people working outside. We have to, you can't imagine. So they have to drink water. Plus outside it's better to wear a cap or something so that they protect themselves from the heat.
How many liters of water do you have to drink?
Minimum I can say 2 liters, but those are outside, they have to drink more. Then another thing is avoid taking food outside, because we do not know how well it is getting washed, lack of and these bacteria can be more. So whatever you prepare, whenever you buy these vegetables or fruits, it's advisable to put them in salt water for at least 10 minutes so that these things can be eliminated. And especially in the preparation of vegetables, we can wash it nicely and then in the running water wash it. You can add lemon also. So this can take off the bacteria and things that can be very prevalent during these heat seasons.
And what is your advice? Is it advisable to drink freezer temperature cold water?
It's not advisable to drink cold water at all.
The normal one.
Normal lukewarm water is the best, body temperature water. Because the feeling of heat is there outside, we want to drink cold inside. You're actually drinking heat only inside. Because the cold water is so much of heat has been generated to make it cold.
Okay.
And whenever you drink this, now the heart has to work so much to bring it back to the temperature.
The normal temperature.
For the body, because body cannot have the cold temperature all the time. It's only temporary feeling you feel you're cold, very nice, soothing. But as I told you, it's only like temporarily, it doesn't give any much benefit. So drink water which is, a little, we put it in mud vessels, Mud vessels, it has its own coolness. That is okay.
The natural.
Yeah, but you take the freezing water from the fridge, it is not good for neither for the throat, weakens it, and also not good for the heart. Especially heart patients should not drink so much of cold water, because the heart has to work more again to bring it back to temperature. So that's not advisable.
What physical exercises do you do as far as yoga is concerned, this part of the...
During the heat, pranayam, we always tell people to do the cooling pranayam, Shitali and Shitkari. Shitali is you roll your tongue like, and you take in cool air. Then maximum how much you can take. Then you close your mouth, breathe through the nose very slowly. You can see the warm air coming out. This continuously will cool the system. But some who can't roll the tongue, they can fold the tongue like this, and teeth will be in front. And then this continuously, people who are outside, who are prone to feel so much of heat, they can practice it. So that also cools your system.
Especially in this part of the world, you are air conditioned, and again you go outside, again you come inside. So automatically it destroys your system, your immune system. So you can come back and practice these sort of...
No, breathing you can do anytime. This Shitali Shitkari you can do anytime. And one more thing is here, the problem is due to too much heat and dust storms, we always have to clean the nostrils. Because there are 3 great mechanisms which only the nostrils have to protect your lungs. For example, the hair follicles in the nostrils stops the dust particles getting into the lungs. Secondly, there is a mucous membrane which stops the finer dust particles getting into the lungs. That's why we need to clean the nostrils, because the dust gets stuck with the mucus. It gets dried. This has to be cleaned thoroughly. When you don't clean it thoroughly, you'll end up with sinus blockages and headaches, and these things can erupt. That's one thing. Then we have a gland which modulates the temperature of the air going into the lungs. So you are coming, as you said, from heat to the cold, cold to the heat again. So the gland has to modulate the temperature of the heart, the chest, the lungs does not get disturbed. So this mechanism is there only in the nose. It is not there in the mouth. So breathing through the nostril, through these mechanisms, helps to prevent further problems for the lungs that can erupt, because during the heat all these sands and storms can create so much of dust in the atmosphere.
So our body is such a huge workshop, and people are least bothered to look after it.
We only know other company and other mode of machinery functioning, but our own company we don't take care. We are the worst operators for the best mechanism God has given. And we are the best operators for the worst equipments. All these artilleries, ammunitions are the worst equipments.
But we are the best people to use it.
We are the best people to use it. But our own equipment be the best of equipments, we are the worst operator to operate it. So we have to operate the best for the best equipments, then automatically the world will become better.
So thank you very much, and we come to the end of the show.
Yeah, thank you.